Doesn't it seem every time DC gets a win, Marvel drops some hot shit? For example, Black Adam does great for its first week, makes over $67 million, 140 million globally, and then the following Monday, Marvel drops the Ant-Man trailer. How's that Ant-Man trailer, huh? Well, this time DC turned the tables on Marvel. What I'm talking about? Let's get into it. Hello everyone, thank you for watching Greenlight Total Entertainment. This is Jeff. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And today we're getting into the new news about DC. It seems like DC gets a win and then Marvel comes out and over, drops something really hot, and we're all, in awe of what Marvel just dropped and we forget what DC actually did. And this time it was Black Adam doing well in the box office for that film, and then Marvel basically drops an Ant-Man trailer, and another day goes by and they drop the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special trailer. Well, this time DC had an opportunity to turn the tables around on Marvel, and I can actually say that this was something that I was not expecting at all. It was already conversation of what was going on with the studios, and when they dropped this bomb, I was very excited about it because I was really hoping that they would have got Danny Lin, but unfortunately they couldn't get into a contract agreement for Warner Bros. To buy out his company, and then the deal fell through. So let's get into what happened with this awesome news. David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, has been looking for his Kevin Feige for a while since he took over Warner Brothers, and the search has been going on for a little over a month, and unfortunately he just couldn't find the right person. He actually had someone in mind who I said earlier was Danny Lin, but unfortunately things didn't work out, so he had to move on to another choice. So according to Deadline and Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers Discovery has hired James Gunn and Peter Safran to co-chair and be co-CEO of the new DC studios, and they will be in charge of film, TV, and animation. And I think the only movie that won't be included in this deal right now is The Joker, Father Dude. So everything else is going to be under them. They're going to start November 1st, and also the contract will be 4 years. And we can get into exactly who are these individuals. A little bit more information for Peter Safran is I think a lot of people don't really know who he is. He's kind of like behind the scenes, but he's very, very successful person when it comes to making movies. So let's get into it more. So there was actually rumors that Peter Safran was going to be the only person in charge of DC Studios, but he actually asked David Zaslav, can he do this with someone else to help him out, and he selected James Gunn to help him out on the creative side. You don't know much about Peter Safran. He came from the horror division, so he worked with James Wan on the Conjuring franchise, also Annabelle, but he's also a comic book head. He's a huge comic book nerd. He loves the comic book genre. He has worked with James Gunn previously in their first film. I think it was like in early 2000s on the specials. They worked on that movie together. So he has a long history of working in comic book movies. He also worked with James Wan as well in his Aquaman films, and also the Shazam films, and James Gunn's The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. So we're actually getting someone who is a comic book head, who understands the comics, especially DC, and also know how to make movies, TV, and this is a great hire. I think this is someone that can actually help James Gunn when it comes to like the business side, and that's what his focus is going to be. He's working on the business, so he's going to be working with the other platforms, HBO Max. When they make a certain animation film, like they do Keep the Sager animation series they want to do, even though it won't be on HBO Max, he can negotiate which platform it goes to. Say if it goes to Netflix or Apple TV, anything like that. So that's what he's going to be focusing on, is just making sure that the budgeting, the money for each project they do falls aligned, and make sure that they don't go over budget. So it's actually kind of exciting to see him actually take on this role, because he's very hands-on, and he's like one of the people that actually care about what the fans think. I remember some folks on YouTube were saying that when they met him personally, that he actually asked them, what do you guys like? What do you guys think about the movie and stuff like that? How can we improve DC comic book movies. And you know, he has an ear, so this is something good. We need someone who's gonna listen to the fans and give us what we want, and also have experience in making good movies, and also have experience in comic books. So all around together, I think this is a great idea. Let's talk about James Gunn. We all know James Gunn is. If you don't, then I don't know what to say, but but James Gunn, you know, he is, I guess he could be looked at as the Feige right-hand man. I mean, he was going to be in charge of the cosmic world for Marvel before he got fired a couple of years ago. He's always been like working closely with Feige when it comes to any kind of projects, when it comes to, for you know, any Marvel film, especially anything that was related to Guardians of the Galaxy. He always wanted to make sure that his characters fall in line of what he was trying to do in his films, and that's what I think that was kind of impressive when it came to Zaslav picking you know, Peter Safran and James Gunn. That James Gunn understands the continuity of characters, and that's very important when you're going to have a shared universe. Another thing that's great about James Gunn, that he understands characters. He can make the most obscene characters and make them very, you know, interesting and fun to watch. And he makes people get fully invested in those characters. Look what he did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Look what he did was the Suicide Squad, especially Peacemaker and Polka Dot Man. I mean, who would have thought these, you know, two guys who are barely known in the comic book world, but you know, at the end of the day, we got an awesome Peacemaker show. We all love what he did with that. And Polka Dot Man. I mean, who would have thought Polka Dot Man would have been someone that you cared about, you were heavily invested in the movie. He was just, you know, he's a I don't know, F-level Batman villain, but it was actually kind of cool to see he do that. So I'm hoping I can get a Condiment King. Not a movie, but he could be like he could be somewhere, play somewhere in the DC universe. So that's something I really hope he does. Thing I did notice while I was reading an article, James Gunn and Peter Safran both said that they will let directors, when they hire them, they will let them be creative. You know, let them create the movie, direct the movie in their vision. It won't be, you know, handcuff or kind of handheld kind of thing that where, you know, they won't allow the directors be creative. As long as the movies are connected in some way and show us some kind of continuity, I think that's the only thing that they were looking for. And it's really not that hard. You can just you know name drop a character here and there, show something in the back, you know, little Easter eggs, just to show that the continuity is there, that this is a shared universe. So I kind of like that, because you don't want Batman and Superman to have the same kind of tone. That wouldn't make any sense. So I actually love the fact that James Gunn is going to allow directors and writers to actually create their project the way that they envision it, and actually match the tone of the character in the movies, but also have it in shared. So, you know, it's just like reading a comic book movie. If you read a Batman comic book movie, it's going to be totally different from an Aquaman or Green Lantern or Superman. It's going to be a different type of tone, and that's what you want in your movies, because that's what we get in our comics, because they're different characters. And then when it comes to the shared universe, I already know they're going to have a shared universe. That's what the 10-year plan that they're going to do, and they're going to figure out. Like I said, in the Black Adam film, maybe they can lead up to the Kingdom Come storyline, or you know, there's so many storylines they can do now. And this is one thing that I'm really happy about, because everything's under one umbrella now. Now that you got TV, film, and animation all together, how many stories have came out in animation? And you know, we just like, man, I wish that they were turned that into live action. Well, now everything's under one umbrella, and you know, there's possibilities that they can do. You know, there's storylines they can adapt to live action, and it is very exciting. And knowing James Gunn and know how much he cares about about both DC and Marvel, or comic book genre all together, that DC's finally in good hands. It's finally in good hands, because we're going to get some continuity. It's not going to be rushed. It's not going to be something that we have to worry about the directors or the writers are going to be pigeonholed to set a single tone for the universe. It's going to be a totally different tone for each movie, each TV show, you know, everything. So that's what we want as DC fans. And I'm very excited to know that finally everything's under one umbrella. There's no more excuse anymore of not understanding any characters. It's not an excuse anymore of, you know, if you need more resource and information about something, you can go get it now. Everything's gonna be in one umbrella. I mean, that was the one thing that always irritated me about the previous regime was the movie DC Films studio and animation was basically across the street from each other, but no one really communicate, amongst each other to figure out exactly, how to set a tone for a certain character, and how to use some of these stories that's already out there and how to bring that into live action or some kind of adaptation version of any kind of animation film that came out or TV series or even comic book. I mean, it's all there, and that's something that Marvel has always done and done a great job. And Feige's been brilliant with doing that. And knowing that James Gunn has worked under Feige, that's going to make it even better because he understands the continuity. He understands, hey, we got all this history, all these stories. Let's dive deep in these stories and bring these stories into life and use the adaptation. Like, it doesn't have to be directly from the comic. That's what Marvel does. They don't do it directly from the comic. They just take pieces here and there. They give you the big picture, but they take pieces here and there and make it make it all connected. So now you got James Gunn who understands that type of world building, working under Kevin Feige. This is going to be a fantastic opportunity for DC to actually start all over again and make a beautiful world. They can have their shared universe and they can have their non-shared universes, kind of like the Joker and Matt Reeves' Batman, where nothing is connected, and you can actually let the directors do exactly what they want to do in a non-shared universe, and then you can actually let them, still be creative in their own films in a shared universe, but also have some kind of continuity when it comes to the overall story. So DC fans, I just wanted to say, just be patient. We still have a couple of films that come out. We have Shazam, we have The Flash, we have Aquaman, and Blue Beetle. I think once those four films are out, and when James Gunn is finally done with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I definitely think we'll get some news of what they're gonna do. Or I want to say that the entire 10-year plan, but I would say at least 3 to 4 years we'll get kind of idea of where they're gonna go. I think San Diego Comic-Con is going to be the spot where they're going to drop this information, and I can really see him like on the red carpet, James Gunn bringing all these people in who is going to be part of the universe, and just dropping what movies are going to be coming out after this slate comes out. So let me know how you feel about this news. Are you excited about the future DC movies under DC Studios, ran by James Gunn and Peter Safran? Are you excited to see these remaining films? I just say just enjoy these remaining films and let's see what they're going to do. But let me know. Comment below in the comment section. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.